This is an interview with George Beecham being conducted at Terrigal, just north of Gosford,
Yes.
on the Friday the 23rd of August 2002. George, thank you very, very much for making yourself available for this interview.
My pleasure.
And if you could start by telling me the year that you were born.
Yes, I was born on the 29th of April, 1915.
1915, so that makes you 87 right
87.
now. 87 years of age. And were you born in New South Wales?
No, I was born in London, England.
London, England.
And I came to Australia at the age of 6 years old. And went from London to a little town called Woormoon, which is 6 miles from Leeton, in the state of New South Wales.
Fine, and you obviously had your primary school education
Yes,
there and secondary school education?
There. I had to leave school when I was 14 because my father died, and no other income, so I had to go out and get a job.
Yes. And what did you actually do?
I got a job, I was lucky enough in 1929 to get a job in a pharmacy as general factotum, deliverer of medicines and sweeper of floors.
But you must have acquired some skills,
Yep.
skills in dispensing and that sort of thing whilst you were in the pharmacy?
Yes, I learned by experience. I learned from listening to people who knew more than I did. And I was fortunate I could pick up things fairly quickly. And I picked up photography. Being in the pharmacy in those days, the pharmacy seemed to be the dropping off shop for photography. Everybody took their films for the chemist to be developed. Either he did them or he sent them away.
Yeah. And
And in my case, the pharmacy I worked for, he had his own darkroom. And he got sick one day and was off for a fortnight, and I stepped in and did the job for a fortnight, and I was so successful that he said, well, you can do it permanently now, give me a break for it. I had the job anyway. So I became then chief photographer as well as dispenser of medicines and selling of pills and potions.
Right, so then if we get to 1939...
This is 1929, I suppose.
Right. Okay,
1929.
so you're quite a young person.
Yeah, I was nearly 15 then, going 14.
And then you go through the experience of the Depression.
Yeah, I went right through the Depression and managed to keep my job. And I stayed there until the war started, and went through the usual thing the young bloke does: push bikes, motorbikes, no money. Wages in those days are very, very small. Of course, price was low too, but it was pretty hard to run a motorbike on a few bob a week, as well as send money home to Mum. We had to live. I had an elder brother, but he was married. And by 1940, I was getting very, very bored and very fed up with things. And I think when the war came, I saw it as an opportunity to get away from the humdrum. And as being a Pommy, in those days, we were all Pommy bastards in those days, because there was a lot of racism in Australia in those years. And having relations in England, I thought, well, there's a chance to go and see the other side of the Pommy family. But
right.
Unfortunately, I went the wrong way. I
right.
went to Southeast Asia.
So you're enlisted in the AIF.
Yes.
And I understand it was in the 2nd 10th Field Ambulance.
Yes, well, I listened and I went in a Wagga camp.
Mm.
And from Wagga camp, I went to Liverpool, where I joined the 2nd 10th Field Ambulance. I was one of the original members.
Now, how did the 2nd 10th end up being in Singapore?
How did they end up?
Yes.
That's a good question. I think they were sent there.
Okay.
There were two brigades went away,
Yeah.
the 22nd Brigade and the 27th Brigade. We were originally attached to the 22nd Brigade, and when they sent the 22nd Brigade to Singapore, instead of sending us, they sent the 2nd 9th from Victoria, and our blokes were irate because we've been training for nearly 12 months, and we thought we should have gone. So much so we called a bit of a strike. We nearly all got court-martialed, and the CEO called us out and gave us a lecture and said, "I'm doing my best to get you away," he said. He said, "Be patient, I'll get you away." And then finally, we finally went away with the 27th Brigade. And when we got to Singapore, blokes didn't like it and started to complain again. One night the LCO called a I suppose you call it a parade. I think it was after their formal mess. I think they had a few too much to drink. And he called and he gave us a lecture on what mongrels he thought we were, because we complained about being in Australia. He said, "Now I've got you Asia, you complained about being in Malaya." He said, "What do you want?" he said. "What do you want?" He said, "Any of those who are not satisfied, parade themselves to me in the morning," he said, "and I'll see you get away." So and only one bloke paraded himself in the morning. He got 14 days in the clink.
Well, he got away. So this was 1940?
This is 1940.
Yeah. You then went up on
no,
the Malayan...
this is 1941 now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Thank you, 1941. So you the unit was then deployed with the brigade into Malaya?
That's right. We went to Singapore first off.
So you deployed into Malaya?
Yep.
And the Japs assault?
Yep.
And the brigades, all the units start withdrawing down the peninsula.
They took up their positions there, wherever it was.
Now you were at Gemus.
I started at Gemus, I came back down.
But you were there when the highly successful ambush was conducted?
15th of February I got there.
15th of February
15th of January.
Yes.
Beg pardon.
Yeah. So that you were there for that highly successful ambush, and then the quick withdrawal of the unit.
And we slowly made our way back down the coast road until we got back to Singapore again.
Yes. Yeah.
Then I ended up at St Andrew's Cathedral.
Yes. And you were there when it was bombed.
Yeah.
Now, so you then get to capitulation on the 15th of February.
Yeah.
1942.
1942.
And where did you go? Did you go actually into Changi, or?
Yeah, we went to St Andrew's Cathedral to Changi, and I was in Changi for about maybe a couple of months, and we went into Singapore to a place called Adam Park on a working party.
Is that where the memorial was?
That's where they built the first more Japanese built a memorial there. I think it was up near the reservoir, Mukarichi Reservoir, I think it was.
Yes.
Or the Gulf or something. A bit hazy on that.
Yeah.
Where exactly it was. And we were running a hospital in Adam Park.
Now, from Adam Park, when did they start sending?
They start sending. I'd say around about June. I'm not too sure.